Band Bros, baby.
Hey yo, bro, what is good? You feel me? It is your boy Nigel, aka the BandBruhZSS, man. And look, I am back again today to bring y'all some more great content. Y'all already know how the story goes. Now, look, we just concluded the 2024 Mass Band season, and I'm not gonna lie, I was thoroughly impressed. I was very impressed by all the bands that popped out, all the different cities that some people popped out with new mass bands we never even heard of before, in my opinion. Listen, overall, it was a great season. I think this is one of the best seasons for mass bands, if I'm being real. Some people might agree, some people might disagree. Now, look, as y'all know, I did my mid-season power rankings for the mass band seasons. The only difference that's going to be different between this video and that video is, honestly, I'm not going to have a song for each band. If you need the song for the mid-season review was more so just a song that stood out to me and everything, but this is the conclusion. You feel me? This is more so, let's sit down and let's talk about it. So how that video was 45 minutes long, this video might not be that long. You feel me? It shouldn't be that long, because granted, it's only but so much you can really say about each band, for real, for real. But this is one of those powwow type of talks where, if honestly, shoot, if anything, I should have went live and just honestly had y'all sit here and agree and talk to me about how y'all feel about it. But that's neither here or there. So look, as you know, last video I did with the mid-season power rankings, I had number 5 being North Carolina Mass Band. I had number 4 being Georgia. I had number 3 being New Orleans. I had number 2 being Memphis, and I had number 1 being Mississippi. Of course, that was based off of the battles that I done seen. That was, of course, based off of just so far the product that's been put out and everything like that. But I also said that it is liable to change. I definitely said that, and I'll be damned. It definitely did change. Now, look, we're going to start once again with the number 5, and we're going to try to talk about it a little bit, for real, for real. This is just my honest thoughts about it. I'm going to be real with you. I think number 5 now has a two-way tie or a two-way split. If I'm being real with you, not only do I rock with North Carolina Mass Band, I also rock with Dallas Legion. I think Dallas Legion came out of nowhere, caught a lot of people by surprise. Now, look, both bands have things they can definitely improve on. Let's just be honest. With North Carolina, I feel like North Carolina obviously needs numbers. Dallas is slightly bigger than North Carolina, you feel me? And it makes a difference, especially in the drumline section. I feel like if North Carolina can add a solid drum section, and if they can add a good amount of numbers, I'm talking about another 100 people, North Carolina's a problem because they have the arrangers, they have the dancers, for real, and they already have the musicians and the players, but they need just more numbers. Reason being is because, and it's the same thing I honestly say Dallas could add as well, you feel me? A lot of people said North Carolina, oh, the trumpet sections were the trumpet section was getting eaten up at times and everything, or the bones were being swallowed up. Well, personally, I heard each section. I understood why people said that, but that's neither here nor there. The reason why I say numbers makes a difference is because, yes, you can pack a punch for being a small band like that. You absolutely can. But hear me out on this, right? Let's just say the general statement. It's a clout war. And y'all might say, what do you mean by that? Clout war meaning if I'm North Carolina and I'm the size that I am, and I am the main event that's coming in there and that's battling Georgia, New Orleans, Memphis, or Mississippi, sadly, most of the people are already going to write y'all off because of the simple fact that y'all are small already. Now, of course, we know you don't never judge a book by its cover. You always sit here and you listen to what a band has to play. If personally, if I'm being real with you, for what y'all might not know, I think North Carolina had the deepest book. They just never had the chance to play all of their songs. But of course, you feel me? That's just not how the event went. You feel me? So I honestly believe that's what North Carolina really can improve on. If they make that happen, mark my words, it is going to be an all-out brawl. That is just that. Dallas Legion on the other end. I genuinely, and I mean I genuinely rock with Dallas Legion. I like their sound. I like their power. I like their dancers. I like the drum line. Now, yes, of course, some people tried to say in the recent battle of them against when they went against the other two bands recently, being Mississippi and being regulators, man, they sound weak, da 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 da, or that heat is different and everything. Because the comments, people say different stuff. I'm just reading and I'm just seeing whatever sticks out to me, right? That was not the case. Yes, let's be real with you. Every mass band this season has had some mistakes in an arrangement here or there. That's just, listen, this has been a season of mistakes. I'm not going to lie to you. This has been the 2024 season of mistakes for these mass bands because I ain't going to lie, they've been wetting the bed on themselves. Really have some of these battles in the bag, but they messed it up due to flawless, or not flawless, but flaws that they had that, hey, sadly came and shot them in the foot, man. With Dallas Legion, I really like Dallas Legion, bro. That's why I couldn't even sit here and try to hold them because they, if anything, they played a strong case, if not maybe an even stronger case for the top 5 spot compared to North Carolina. Once again, size differential, presence, drumline presence, all of that. Listen, we all, nobody's perfect, you feel me? Every band knows what they need to work on. But that's just how I feel when it comes to Dallas Legion. I look forward to seeing both of these programs in the future, definitely growing for real. For like I said before, North Carolina has the most HBCUs. If those who don't know that, for those people who stay in any of the state, if you did not know that, we house the most HBCUs. But y'all, you might say, man, what makes it so hard for the mass band to really pull in the numbers? It's a plethora of things. But one of the main things is all of the HBCUs are just stretched out on a highway, for real, for real. Like this HBCU's way down here, then that HBCU, then that HBCU, then up there, then that HBCU. So you got all these people who are trying to travel from different places. Whereas in some other cases where I've heard some other mass bands, for the most part, they have like a central point where everybody's able to meet at, to where it's easier for everybody to commute from different places just to this place. We're still trying to figure that out. We're still trying to fix that. I'm not going to go into much of the analytics part, but just know in due time, I believe once we figure that part out, it ain't no stopping North Carolina. Dallas is going to continue to grow. That's just the truth. Dallas is going to continue to grow. In my honest opinion, that is all they need. They just have to keep growing on the numbers. Of course, sections have improvement. They can work on both sections for the number 5. But I like their arrangements. Their arrangers are, listen, their pen game is damn near good. I'm not going to lie. It's damn good. I can't even lie. So look, those are my thoughts. Those are my opinions for the number 5. Okay, now let's talk about the number 4. As you previously know, I said on the number 4 spot that I gave to Georgia, but that was because Georgia wasn't battle tested. I am here to say that is damn sure not the same case today. That is not the case today. If I'm being completely honest with you, and sorry if my camera had just frozen and everything. If I'm being completely honest with you, I really do not think Georgia is nowhere near that number 4 spot no more. Now, this is the thing. Y'all might say, man, who do you got at the number 4? And then when I really sit here and when I really process and I really put thought into just overall who I really, really, really feel like has to get that number 4 spot. And it's not because I'm being shady. It's not because I'm trying to throw any type of slack their way. But truthfully, I got to throw Memphis. I have to. Now, listen, if you sit here and you say, Nigel, are you telling me that you think Memphis was better than Georgia, or wasn't better than Georgia, wasn't better than New Orleans, wasn't better than Mississippi? If I'm being completely honest with you, you ever heard the quote, the bigger they are, the harder they fall? That's just the honest truth. Memphis, as we know, the former champs of last year, and I also stated in my last video, not every year are you going to have these bands that are going to consistently win. That's just the honest truth. That's just the honest truth. But this is where Memphis messed himself up at. If I'm being honest with you, I think Memphis probably has, I could be wrong, but the top 2 arrangers in the mass band world. For real, for real. I think their arrangers over there are that good. But sadly, this time it wasn't on the arrangers for not coming through. It wasn't. I personally believe it was just the execution. And who didn't execute? Sadly, some of the guys, the people, the participants in the mass band. That's just my honest opinion. Now, I have to say that as a disclaimer because I know some people are going to view this video and think I'm smoking some shit. They're going to think I am tweaking out by saying this. But I'm not saying that Memphis is not deserving of the 1 or 2 spot. But let's be real, for all my fellow subscribers and people who watch my page, we have all watched Memphis continuously mess up this season. And at first we thought it was just a fluke, but then it happened and it happened again. And it was just, after a while, you just can't keep letting it go. You can't just bypass it and forget it like, oh yeah, it's all good. Because sadly, what ended up happening, this is how it ended up happening. Memphis' last battle, if I'm not mistaken, because I've reacted to a lot of battles, Memphis' last battle was them against Mississippi. That was probably the last time we're going to see Memphis for this season. Unless I'm wrong, and there's another battle, which I'm pretty sure it might not be, and that might be the end of the season. Memphis' last battle left us with a bad taste in our mouth. Executing. They didn't destroy them, but they definitely beat Mississippi on the field. So I'm giving y'all flowers. Y'all definitely beat Mississippi on the field. Cool. Y'all definitely went to the stands and started beating Mississippi in the stands. Now Mississippi was coming. I'm not gonna lie, Mississippi was on y'all ass. But what ended up happening? Sadly, y'all shot yourselves in the foot. Y'all did. Y'all did. I really believe, if I'm being completely honest with you, I think y'all really just y'all started smelling yourselves a little too much. Now, I don't know, there's no point in blame on nobody individually. There's not. You might say, well, some people try to say the drum line ran it back. Okay, whatever. Okay, I get it. But we're not going to point fingers. It's a collective unit. Y'all are Memphis. Y'all are the state of Memphis. So sadly, the state of Memphis, when it came to the Mass Man season, just didn't fully perform, or no, fully execute to the fullest of what they were expected to. That's why people have been so hard on Memphis. People aren't hard on Memphis because we're trying to say y'all are ass. We're not hard on Memphis because we're trying to say, oh, y'all don't care or y'all have bad musicians. No. Shout out to all the bruhs and the rise and all the arrangers. It has nothing to do with that. But when you have a high expectation of somebody or something, and sadly, when that person or any type of entity sits here and doesn't fulfill what they're supposed to fulfill or expected to fulfill, it's a bigger letdown. And that's just the honest truth. It's a bigger letdown. Memphis, I had nothing but faith that, oh yeah, Memphis is going to crush this year. They know what they got to do. They got the arrangements. They got the arrangers. They got the players. They got the drums. They got the dancers. Ain't nobody touching. And they're the past season champs. But sadly, sometimes we tend to get so big headed and cocky, and we start to believe in ourselves so much that it becomes a little arrogant. Well, sadly, that arrogance came back to bite y'all in the ass. That's just me being honest. So once again, Memphis isn't number 4 because of the fact the arrangements that they had were not as good as New Orleans. Because let me be honest with you. Y'all arrangements were still better than New Orleans. I still believe y'all had a better pen game than New Orleans. But we can't sit here and just bypass the mistakes and everything that happened. We can't. We can't. But guess what? That's okay. For the people who view this video, I'm pretty sure y'all might want to get mad at what I'm saying. This is just my opinion. Y'all have to remember that. My page is growing fast. This is just my opinion. I am a drummer. You feel me? I am a drummer who has this many people who support and rock with what I'm saying. Not because I'm slandering. Not because I'm talking trash. I always thought, or always wondered, right? If I ever meet any of the people who watch my page in person, would they think I'm really a trash talker? And you know what's crazy? When I met George's Mass Band in person, and I met a lot of people who watch my videos, none of them ever even said or thought or gave off the feeling like, bro, you a bully, bro. They just realized that I'm a bandhead who loves music. So this is just my honest opinion. That's why I feel like Memphis got forward. Memphis, if y'all didn't have none of the mistakes y'all had, listen, every band makes mistakes. We get it. People have some straight notes. But if y'all didn't have some of the mistakes that y'all really had, if I'm being honest, Memphis, I think y'all could have played a case for y'all being top 2 this year. Top 2. For real, top 2. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. But if you honestly want me to be honest with you, and this kind of goes into who the third ranked band is in this opinion, the third ranked band I got to give to New Orleans. I still got to give to New Orleans. Now, when I say this, right? When I say this, do I believe that New Orleans had a better book than what Memphis had? No, I don't. I don't. I absolutely do not. But I do believe New Orleans didn't have as many fatal flaws and errors like Memphis had. So for the people who watch this, who tune in, and who sit here and say, oh yeah, he basically said that he put Memphis below New Orleans. Not because of the book, but because of the mistakes that were made. You damn right I did. Because once again, that's just my honest thought. That's just my honest thought. Listen, y'all book, Memphis book is so damn nice, bro, because the arrangers are so nice, man. But that's what I'm saying. I have to put heavier critiques on y'all because y'all are the champs from last year. I watched y'all demolish bands and I reacted to y'all demolish bands from last year. I've watched it. I watched it. I said, damn, ain't nobody touching Memphis, bro. They got the arrangers, they got the drummers, they got the dancers, they got the numbers. Ain't nobody touching Memphis. Ain't nobody touching Memphis. Georgia, even when they're smaller, probably can't touch Memphis. But what ended up happening, sadly, Memphis ended up just shooting themselves in the foot. I have to keep saying that. I have to. And because of the fact that the expectations were so high for Memphis, and y'all kind of did what y'all did consistently, back-to-back battles, I'm sorry, bro, but I have to. Now, don't get me wrong. It's still a huge gap from that number 4 and that number 5 spot. Dallas and North Carolina are not touching none of these top 4 bands. But I'm sorry. In this top 4 right here, Memphis, this is why y'all have the number 4 spot. If you think I'm tripping, comment and tell me. If you don't, and if you honestly respect what I'm saying, hey, listen, I appreciate that. Number 3 spot. I already said it. New Orleans. The fuck am I talking about? New Orleans. Hey, listen. Do I believe New Orleans played a strong case? Listen, first of all, New Orleans was so big this year, bro. New Orleans was huge this year. Huge. Numbers. Every section full. Every section was full. And I'm talking about full, bro. Drummer, everybody. But New Orleans, the reason why I can't even push y'all up a little bit higher, and if I'm being honest, matter of fact, New Orleans is one of the schools that didn't change. Y'all stayed in the 3 spot too. Couple of things, New Orleans. One, and this is no disrespect when I say this. This is no disrespect when I say this, right? Listen, AEA 151 to all the good bros. So y'all already know I'm just talking as a music band head. One, New Orleans, I think we just and you know Roger Bro said this. This is why I'm glad I actually watched this video. He even said this, but he basically said, look, like y'all need some, no disrespect, y'all need some better arrangements. Y'all do. Y'all got the power. Listen, New Orleans is a nightmare. If I went against New Orleans and they played a certain song that would never get out of my head, New Orleans, that song would play in my head so many times, over and over. New Orleans is a nightmare. One of the bands you do not want to have to go against. But if you do, strap up because it's going to be a long ride. But New Orleans, as big as y'all are, first of all, we're not going to talk about how sadly this season, listen, y'all UFOs was pushing. Mellows was pushing. Bones was straight outside of the last recent battle against Georgia and everything. But you know who kind of like in somewhat just kind of, I'm going to say a little bit inconsistent. And I love these fellas. The Tubas. I heard all season, man, the Tubas. And I'm like, man, I ain't believing that. Then I started listening. You feel me? And see, if y'all don't know, I don't critique or comment on every single thing I hear because being a drummer, I'm not trying to step into the full world of what a horn player is supposed to do or sound like. I respect y'all for learning y'all craft just like y'all respect us for learning ours. So I'm not finna say tubas, y'all gotta get that together. No, that's how you start fights. That's how you start fights. But let's be real, New Orleans tubas, if y'all watch this, I'm pretty sure. And if y'all don't know, look at the last clip of y'all going against Gam, playing real big. You know? Arrangements, tubas. I'm not gonna say the tubas brought y'all down as much as the arrangements did though. Because for real, I think that's what y'all kryptonite is right now. You know, every band has kryptonites. There's a weakness on how you can get these bands. North Carolina, Dallas, you beat them by power and size. Yes, I understand. Yeah, a small band can still punch. I get that. A smaller band can definitely still punch. Definitely can still punch. Absolutely. Absolutely. Smaller bands can still pack a punch, but they don't get tired quicker. Lesser numbers. You got 9 bones against 25 bones. Let's just be honest with you. When those 9 out of the 25 gets tired, you still got goddamn freaking 12 more. You know, So whatever it may be, it's different kryptonites. Memphis kryptonite. Honestly, lack of attention. That's the truth. Lack of attention. It wasn't the fact that the arrangements wasn't hitting. It wasn't the fact y'all was missing certain. It wasn't like, oh, they didn't have a mellow section this year. Lack of attention. You see how these bands, you would think, oh man, these bands are so tough, bro. They're untouchable. But it comes at their own self-inflictions. Lack of attention. The lack of paying attention, doing, I guess, what was supposed to be done compared to what you thought was supposed to be done, kind of put y'all in this predicament. I don't see nobody really talking about Memphis besides the diehard Memphis people. For real. I don't. And that's not a knock, but it's just because, and Killer Cab's from there. I just feel like y'all had the battle both times in y'all hands and y'all let it go off of attentiveness. That's just that. New Orleans, going back to y'all, New Orleans. I think what could have kept y'all or put y'all in a higher position than where you was before, arrangements. Y'all had some very nice arrangements this year. Very nice. Like I said, I'm not about to sit here and go back and find different clips. That was just the mid-season, right? That was what had me lit in the mid. This is the end. So this is me sitting down having a little powwow chat with y'all. So I really would love for y'all to comment. Tell me what y'all think. Give me y'all feedback, whatever. That's why I'm not making this video as long. New Orleans, I think y'all only thing was it was just arrangements. It was just arrangements. You might say, who was the first band that New Orleans went against? New Orleans went against, wasn't it Memphis on the field? I think it was Memphis on the field. Arrangements. Yeah, it was Memphis. Arrangements. Who was it that outwitted New Orleans recently in the recent battle? Off of arrangements. Georgia. Arrangements. Get them. I'm not saying get new arrangers, because I like the staff members over there. I will never ever plead a case to sit here and say that person does not need to direct. That is in-house conversations. That is not my business. I am not New Orleans. I have no swag hours. I am not stepping over there. You feel me? Yeah, I know how to play a bass drum and everything. I can put a black dot on and play swag parts, but I have no swag hours. But y'all allow me to talk about it because y'all actually understand where I'm coming from. You see what I'm saying? Number 2. And this was a hard one. But number 2, I'm going to actually have to give the Mississippi. Reason why I'm giving the Mississippi, and I know y'all might think, man, this is a weird list. It's not in my head. The reason why it's not, because Mississippi did some arrogant shit at this recent battle. They did. And I ain't gonna lie, I was kind of mad at them for doing that because it took away from the enjoyment of the battle. But it has nothing to do with them getting a number 2 spot because they did that. But let's be real. Mississippi was the same similar category as Memphis. Nice arrangements because of who we already knows over there, Travis and whoever, just like they got Deontay and all that. But Mississippi didn't have as many mistakes. So now you see how this comes around at a full 360, right? So imagine if Memphis didn't mess up in the battle. I'm not talking about at a little practice. I'm not talking about at a little no, I'm talking about the battle where it counts the most. If Memphis didn't mess up, you think Memphis will be below New Orleans? No. They'll probably be above. New Orleans probably be 4. Let's just keep it in the bug. New Orleans would definitely be 4. But Memphis fucked up way more, in my opinion, than what New Orleans did. Even though Memphis had better arrangements than New Orleans. But that still put Memphis at 4. That put New Orleans at 3. Mississippi, here we are with y'all. I like how y'all came in. Y'all stormed the Capitol. We remember how that was. And y'all freaking took Memphis by surprise. Over hoes and over, you know what? Tough arrangement along with every other arrangement y'all play. Y'all had a very nice book this year. And look, Travis and everybody else who's over there, yeah, they're doing the damn thing. They are doing the damn thing. I feel like y'all were so hungry to want the crown though. And I don't think there's nothing wrong with that. No, I would want you to be that hungry. I just don't think it was time yet. You might say, well, what do we need? Mississippi? My apologies, those 2 M's, right? Mississippi, I think what y'all need, some more numbers. Get a little bigger. That doesn't mean y'all are out of contention because y'all are still blowing. But the Mississippi band who I seen And I know I'm not tripping. But the Mississippi band who I seen at the recent performance with New Orleans, Georgia regulators in Dallas was not the same size that I seen at the previous one against Memphis. Of course, traveling expenses, whatever it may be, I'm not judging none of that. I'm not saying because that many people didn't come, it was a difference. No, I just think Mississippi, it just isn't time yet. That's what I think. I just think it's not time yet. I think y'all have the arrangements, y'all have the power, y'all have the arrogance, y'all have the ignorance. You feel me? Y'all have all of that. I want to see what y'all have next year too. Where y'all left off at, don't lose it. Keep it and let's build from that. And that goes for every other band as well. New Orleans, don't change nothing about what y'all are doing. Keep it. Y'all know what y'all got to work on, in my opinion. Let's go from that. Memphis. Memphis, y'all make me so mad because it's like, Memphis, bro, y'all are really like, and I mean really like, y'all are the full package in my opinion, Memphis. Keep it, pay attention, and work on it. Memphis, y'all don't understand how close y'all were to really being the number one. Imagine me trying to compare how good y'all were for the previous two battles against how good Georgia was on their first battle, right? Y'all would have still got it. Not because I think, oh, for this reason y'all are better than Georgia. If I'm being real, I still think Memphis, y'all somewhat have slightly better arrangements than Georgia. I think Georgia might have had a little slightly deeper book, but we obviously know for those reasons why. But that's it. NC, Dallas, keep it, improve on it. Numbers, build these sections up. Drum lines, build that section up. Y'all got it. Y'all know. Y'all have a great. Every band has a solid foundation. Go back, work on what you know you need to work on, and fix it. It's just that simple. Last but not least, y'all already know. Number one goes to Georgia. Listen, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm not gonna lie to you. Georgia, ATL ho. Listen, Georgia. What do I have to say about y'all? That's not already been said. Considering the fact that everybody kept trying to say, and I ain't gonna lie, I said this in my last video. Now I didn't go to the furthest of what people were trying to say, but considering the fact, because some people felt like it was really kind of wrong that y'all hadn't battled no one all season, and that was y'all first battle. Can we control that though? We really can't. Can we control that Florida Mass Band had called out at the last minute? We could have got a little snippet to see what y'all were capable of dealing with. You feel me? You know, we could have seen that, but it's okay. I believe, Georgia, y'all use the time to y'all advantage. Y'all use the practices to y'all advantage. And y'all locked in. Not only that, y'all studied film, yo. Y'all studied film and y'all knew what y'all had to do. Which was, hey, look. And don't get me wrong. Georgia, y'all still fucked up a little bit too now. We ain't gonna talk about that. All these bands definitely have some slip-ups. We are not gonna act like that wasn't the case. But Georgia capitalized, in my opinion, the best this season compared to every other band for every respective reason. They had every section. And what did I say last year that will be the biggest difference maker that they did this year? Cut down that big ass, steroid ass, fat band. Cut down that band, yo. Cut that band down. And what you're gonna end up seeing, is you're gonna see a very much more polished, mature, controlled sound from Georgia. Why? Because now you're forcing everybody to sit here and have to know what they gotta know, learn what they have to learn. It's no excuses. It's no excuses. I talked to somebody down there from Georgia, right? I'm not gonna say no names. If he watches this video, he will. This was at the Meet the Mass Band event, right? He told me basically it was some issues and conflicts going on down there. Now I'm not gonna talk too much, but there were some issues and conflicts where basically I think it was finger pointings happening where, oh, the band can't progress because we got these amount of kids in here. Oh no, the band can't progress because we got some of these old heads in here. We are, listen, as old heads, we know how it is being old heads. We the OGs. We done seen it all, in our opinion. We done seen it all. You can't tell us nothing. It goes our way or no way at all. I've been a victim of that. I've seen it. I've been on both sides, but I've mostly been on the side of Bogarting. But it was for better reasons. But with that being the case, we've seen it. So what did Georgia do? We're gonna have auditions. We're gonna have auditions. We're gonna cut down and we're gonna force everybody to have to know the skills and have to know what they need to know so that our band has the potential chance to be the best that it can be. That was the one thing that they needed to do, in my honest opinion, and that would have changed a lot. And sure enough, they did it. Sure enough, they did it. Sure enough, they did it. And I ain't gonna lie. Listen, I would have loved to see Georgia and Memphis, bro. I would have loved to see it. Not for the sake of power, because they both every band has power. We've already understood that. But I want to see them arrangements. I believe for real, like and honestly, you can throw Mississippi in there. If you would have gave me a three-way battle with Mississippi, Memphis, and Georgia, yo, if y'all have made it this far in the video, you know how much of a battle that's gonna be? How some good arrangements are gonna be called? Why? Because not only do all the bands bring it, regardless, you gonna make them arrangers really bring it. The arrangers, Bugs and all them at Georgia. Travis and all them at Mississippi. Deontay at Memphis. You see what I'm saying? You gonna make these band directors really get in their bag because they know how these other band directors at these other schools bring it. You feel me? I would have loved to see that. And I'm sorry. But New Orleans, I don't want to exclude y'all. I don't want to exclude y'all for real. I don't. I just think that's what separates y'all from them three. It's just y'all arrangements, yo. Y'all had some very nice arrangers. Bear and all of them are over there doing the damn thing. But I'm pretty sure if I'm noticing this from a spectator's point of view, from a reactor's point of view, um, um, if I'm reacting to this, from a spectator's point of view, my apologies. I damn sure know that these niggas know. I know these niggas know. You can't tell me otherwise. I know these dudes know. If I noticed it, I know they noticed it, gang. Come on now. Come on now. So yeah, bro. Listen, 30 minutes in, it don't even feel like I've been talking for 30 minutes, right? But it's crazy because the other video, Mass Band video, I think of the different reactings and all that stuff like that was like, 50 minutes long and stuff like that. But yeah, if I'm being honest with you and all that stuff like that, that's just how I feel about it all. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be rude. I don't want y'all even thinking I'm smoking some shit. Because I'm not. Yet. But anyway, now what I'm saying though is whole time, that's just my honest opinion. That's my honest opinion. Dallas and NC at 5. All right. Memphis at 4. You feel me? New Orleans at 3. Mississippi at 2. And Georgia at 1. You could have a strong case for some people because I know I'm really thinking about if I'm somebody else who's watching this video and I'm like, nah, I don't rock with that list, right? Maybe it's Georgia's at 1. I'm arguing with your mama, your dad, whoever you want to argue with. Georgia's at 1. That's at least there. And North Carolina and Dallas are at 5. That 4-3-2 can get jumbled up. You could say, I don't know, bro. I like New Orleans more than Mississippi because the power and stuff like that. I'm looking at it from an arrangement perspective, right? Because and this is why you might say, well, Nigel, why do you choose arrangements over power? From my personal opinion, because power after a while sounds the same. It just do. After a while, all them people out there on the field who's listening, Gam got power, New Orleans got power, Mississippi got power, all of them got power, North Carolina, Dallas got power. Power is going to be with these, quote, mass bands. You see, it's going to be there. But what separates this power from this power from this power? The technicality and the arrangements. So honestly, that's my honest opinion, y'all. That's my honest opinion. I would love to know what y'all feel. I would love to know what y'all think. Talk to me. Tell me what y'all say. Look, I'm going to get this content to y'all. Like I said, I ain't going to take too long. I think y'all enjoyed enough of the talking. Conversate with me. Respond back. Tell me what y'all think. If I'm tripping, then I am tripping. And if I'm not, I'm not. But that's just my thought. Look, this the Band Bros. Hey, look, the love has been real. I love everybody who's sharing, subscribing, A1 Media, Smash Time, everybody who be hitting me up, talking about the different videos they like. I appreciate it. I ain't never think that being a drummer from a MEAC school to graduating to now having, and then, see, y'all don't know, I have a lot of clout. Like, I'm not being funny. I have a lot of clout. Like, so, like, whoever might be famous down there in the South, that's how it is up here in the North. You feel me? I just decided to take it and do something with it. You feel me? Like, I took it and said, hey, let me make a page. Let me sit here and add my brothers with me and all this stuff like that. We've all been busy. But granted, we all have a voice to where, hey, look, y'all might not be available. I got this. Let me go ahead and talk it up a little bit. I like talking. If you haven't known, I like talking. So look, man, y'all tell me what y'all think. Like, comment, share, subscribe if you haven't already. And then on top of that, comment. I really want y'all feedback. I really want to know what y'all think about this. Like, I really want to know. That's my list. It don't have to be y'all's though. So yeah, bro, this the Band Bros. I'm gonna get y'all this content game, and I'm out.
It's the Band Bros, baby.